Hello world, Scott Simpson here from News 95.7 with the conclusion of the Lung Association of Nova Scotia's Learn to Run for Smokers program. This is episode 10, so I've been at this for about 2.5 months, and I thought I'd let you know what conclusions I have after finishing it all. I did the run last week, the 5K lung run, and I'm pretty pleased with my time. You saw in last week's episode that I got just under 43 minutes. I was aiming for 40, which was a completely made-up goal, and I got pretty close to it, so I'm pleased with that. The after effects, it's a week later, and my knees still hurt. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I don't think that's right. Granted, I am still heavy. We'll get to more on that in just a second, but I don't think my knees should be making noises like this. Oh. Yeah. So what did I get out of the program in the long run? Well, I said in the beginning, this is not a weight loss program. You saw me weigh in the early episodes at about 245 pounds. Currently, I'm at about 240. So clearly, this is not an easy way to lose weight, and to be completely honest, I think all I did was burn off some of my Christmas weight that had stuck around till March. You can see my weight loss graph there that shows, if anything, my weight's actually gone up in the past few weeks. So just walking and running alone is not going to cause you to lose weight. From everything I've learned, losing weight is more an effect of what you do at the dinner table and everywhere else that you eat than it is anything you do on the road. Exercise helps. It's good for your body. We saw the benefits of exercise in an earlier episode, which you can go back and review. It assists in weight loss. It assists in weight maintenance, but just getting out of the chair and exercising is not going to burn off all the fat. It takes more than that. Having said that, I did lose about 2 inches off my waist, so my clothes are feeling better. I'm going to have to continue and, in fact, work harder if I'm going to lose any significant weight. My doctor was hoping that my blood pressure would be better. My blood pressure is decent right now, thanks in part to blood pressure medicine, but as we saw, continued exercise and regular physical activity does help the blood pressure, which is good. Other improvements, my heart feels better. I don't know how I can quantify that. It just doesn't feel as pumpy. It doesn't feel as all riled up when I do exercise. And when it does get sped up and does beat harder, it recovers back to my normal a little bit more quickly. I'm not as sweaty. I can go upstairs a little bit easier. Maybe not this week, because as I say, my knees still hurt. But overall, that's a good improvement. My wife noticed my skin tone has improved, especially when I do go out running. My skin tone used to look like this. Now it looks like this. That's a good improvement. Also, my hair has gotten longer, although I think that's just mostly because I haven't had it cut. Has the program turned me into an athlete? I don't think anything's going to turn me into an athlete. I am accustomed to physical activity more. We'll get more on that later. My thoughts on the Learn to Run program overall, it's pretty much as advertised. They said in the beginning, as you saw back in episode 1, that it's not a program designed to get you to quit smoking. They're not going to hit you over the head with an anti-smoking message and pressure you into quitting. So as advertised, they didn't do that. They did teach me how to go about quitting, if I so chose, but they're not going to drive you to do that. It's more reaching a level of awareness of your own body that makes you want to quit. It is a great, comfortable environment for people of a variety of activity levels to get out of the house and start moving and start paying more attention to their own health and work up to a 5K. I would have liked a bit more instruction on the technique. You saw the episode where we learned about running technique, and most of what I got out of it was keeping a decent posture and being light on your feet and be athletic, as we were told.
You want to be athletic. You might say right now, you might say, what the heck's athletic? If I was to say two things, I think athletic, and if you don't know what it is, imagine what it is.
I never really felt athletic. There were times I felt better about my technique, and there were times I felt that it really wasn't working. Although people along the way have told me that all there really is to running technique is finding the way you run and then making that the most efficient that it can be. You can't go from being a clumsy klutz, perhaps, into some kind of running machine. Certainly I didn't. And if I did, I've broken some of the running parts of my running machine. with my sore knees. I'm sorry that I'm complaining about it so much. I'm just so good at the complaining. The best thing about it, I think, was it's a group activity. Whether it's an exercise class you go to, a spin class, a yoga class, or anything else, I've found for me that being around people, especially people who are shouting at me to turn around or run or walk, I push myself further than I would if I were all by myself. I find it really easy to quit when there's no one looking over my shoulder to say, keep going.
Oh, I'm just following orders, sir. Yes. It'll come in a couple weeks. I trust that she knows what she's doing. Tell me when to run.
Situations like that where we were told, run and walk and turn around and go this far and now stop and come back. I found that really helpful because, again, I find it really easy to give up when I'm by myself. So having the group there and to be accountable to the group and to not want to disappoint the group and be part of a team, that's not something I've done much in my life as far as exercise. So I was glad to have that. So moving forward, they're going to do another session of the Learn to Run for Smokers program at the Lung Association of Nova Scotia, this time on Wednesday nights, starting this May 4th. So I'm considering signing up. You can go to ns.lung.ca for more on that. Jane Norrie, who is about to have a baby, won't be leading it this time. They have found another crew who will be driving people on to success. And I'm thinking of going. My wife suggested it would be good for me because of the reasons I just laid out as far as getting out of the house and being in a group of people who are all driving toward the same goal. I'm thinking of doing it. I plan to continue exercising regardless, or resume exercising, because I've taken this week off because my knees hurt so much. I want to continue because I've proven to myself that I can work 40 minutes 3 times a week, exercise into my lifestyle. One of the things that stops people, and stops me specifically, is the excuse of, oh, I don't have time, or it's not convenient for me. I've made time, I've found time in my otherwise busy life to get out of the house, strap on shoes, put the shoes on before I leave the house, otherwise my feet get wet. You get the point. Get out and do the exercise, and there's no sense stopping now. I don't want to put that 5 pounds back on. I don't want to lose the gains that I've made. I've heard that your body is always in a state of improving or declining, and about 3 days after you stop improving, you start declining. I want to continue the improvement because I've got a long way to go. So why quit now? There might be more 5Ks in my future. Well, there's another run scheduled for the end of the upcoming Learn to Run for Smokers program, and the Blue Nose has a 5K as well. Maybe I'll do 2 more. I'm not going to commit to that yet. Don't want to overcommit myself. So a couple of questions people have been asking me in the past couple weeks. Am I addicted to running now? Definitely not. I never even got to the point where running was even fun. I appreciate the exercise. I like how I feel once I've finished, but running has never got to the point where I enjoy it. Running is always effort for me. Running is pain. Running is something that I have to make myself do. And even talking to runners, it takes quite a bit of time before they look forward to running. As for running being an addiction, to me, addictions have always been things that are disruptive, things that get in the way of things that I want to do, things that are disruptive, things that are sneaky. And I've never found myself secretly going out and exercising and lying to people about it. And also they asked me, have you quit smoking yet? I haven't quit smoking yet. I wish I had. Smoking is becoming more and more disgusting to me, as much as I still enjoy it. I'm noticing the stink more. I'm noticing the feel of my lungs more. And when it came to the exercise, I could really feel that having less than optimal lung condition was something that was holding me back. And not just the lungs, the amount of carbon monoxide and other stuff flowing through my body and preventing oxygen from getting to my muscles and lactic acid getting out of my muscles. So it's still on my mind. I think quitting is on the horizon, but I've yet to start a quit date and commit to a program to get me off the tobacco. So that's about it. There are thank yous I want to give. Let's see. I want to thank the Bad Ashes team. I think we worked together well to egg each other on, and the coaches we had at the Learn to Run for Smokers program were terrific, and they pushed us every step of the way in a really nice way. And it was really great to see everybody come together at the lung run to help each other out, especially at the very end when we all walk one member back in across the finish line. That was really something to see, all those orange shirts. I want to thank all the listeners who have spoken to me around town when they see me and ask me how it's going, and the people at work, family and friends, everybody who sponsored me at the lung run. Thanks for my wife for putting up with my complaint about my pain and for doing all the laundry and being proud of me. And editor Ruth Davenport for giving me the story in the first place and asking me how I was going to handle the story. Here we are, 10 episodes later. It turned out really well. Thanks everybody at work for cheering me on. And thanks especially to the Lung Association of Nova Scotia, and most of all, our team leader, Jane Norrie, who graciously gave me that first interview, explained the program to me, and was very patient with my wise Alec remarks throughout the program, and was always asking me how my shins were.
But we are doing 30 minutes continuous today, so...
Sorry.
That's quite easy to time. So
one more thing I wanted to tell you about. In this week's web story, you will see links at the bottom of the page. I'm going to try to bring together all the useful links that I've posted and stumbled upon throughout this series so that the final page is one good reference point. And there's a surprise for everybody who's been watching all along. That's right. If you're reading the screen, you'll see what it is. I encourage you to check it out. It's just a little creative project I did. So if you've been watching this far, my gift to you, and I hope it's entertaining. So that's it for Huffing and Puffing, my 10-part series about the Lung Association of Nova Scotia's Learn to Run for Smokers program. If you know a smoker who's interested in quitting and maybe interested in changing their life a little bit, check the short link on the screen. It will take them to news957.com and this particular article where they can look at all the past episodes, maybe find a little inspiration, and perhaps surprise you with how much they have inside to improve their own life. It's been my pleasure bringing you all this information, and I hope you'll keep listening to News 95.7 now and in the future for news you can use and a little bit of fun. See you next time.